Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sakura Unboxings. So, I recently just got back from my trip to LA, and I'd like to do a video on that, and while I have recorded the clips that I have, it ended up being like an hour long, so that video is going to take quite a while to edit down, plus I have to add extra clips from any footage I took while I was there in LA, but yeah, so right now I mostly just want to do a sort of, hopefully, short and sweet video on my May haul. And it's been quite a while since I've done a haul video, but I'm back to it, I guess. So I picked up some figures in May, and I also have my, of course, Ami pre-orders for May, so I'm obviously very excited to show them off. I have them on the side, so I'm just kind of like looking over there. But yeah, a bunch of figures that I have that I'm obviously very excited to show. A lot of very nice figures, and yeah. So I will start from pretty much like the smallest to the biggest, essentially. So I do have like one piece of merch. I have like some Nendoroids, and of course I have scales. So yeah, we'll start from obviously the smallest to the biggest, and yeah. So without further ado, let us get started. So the first thing I wanted to show up is actually kind of a piece of merch that I got with my May Ami order, which I actually completely forgot about because I tend to not buy merch, like official like merch, aka like keychains or clear files or like anything like that off of Ami. I guess it's just not really my thing, but I saw this and I feel like I couldn't pass it up because I thought it was too cute and not expensive. I think this was maybe 600 yen? I can't remember too much, but it is, of course, the very adorable Maneki Miku clear file. So, yeah. I quite like or I shouldn't say like, I love the Maneki Miku design, and I actually didn't pre-order the Nendoroid, and it closed off Ami and Good Smile, so I was like, I missed it, but thankfully Nin Game had it still open for pre-order, so I ended up pre-ordering her up there. So obviously I'm very excited. I don't know why I didn't pre-order her right away, because this is a very cute Miku design, because I like the different colored eyes and just this outfit overall, and yeah, I just really like the design, so of course I wanted to kind of pick it up in its, I guess, its original art. So yeah, very cute clear file overall. So now we are moving on to the two Nendoroids that I picked up for the month, and both of these I got with my May Ami order, and I'll start off with the first one. I already unboxed these, by the way, just to make, because I would like to have them in person so I can get my thoughts out. And the first one we have is the Maki Zenin Nendoroid. So this is my first Jujutsu Kaisen Nendoroid because, I don't know, I just liked all the stuff she came with and her face plates and all that. Because for the most part, I'm not too impressed with the Jujutsu Kaisen Nendoroids. Like, I don't feel the need to pick them up as much as I really enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like they're just alright overall. And yeah, I just don't feel like picking them up at the moment. But I saw the Maki, and I had to say I really dig this Nendoroid overall. Like when it first, the pictures first came up and it was open for pre-order. And recently I am quite enjoying the new Jujutsu Kaisen Nendoroids. Definitely looking forward to getting Toge in the future. And yeah, so obviously Maki was my first Jujutsu Kaisen Nendoroid, and now I will get her right here because I have her out of the box. And yeah. Here she is. She is very cute. I know I'm gonna have her all the way back here, but I wonder if I can actually yeah. Oh, that's a lot better. But yeah, here she is. I know I'm kind of holding her in a weird spot, but we'll put extra footage. But yeah, right now I'm impressed with this Nendoroid. I do like how she came out overall. From what I've seen, because I just put her in this pose and that was it. So my plan also with Nendoroid in the future is I just kind of want to obviously show you the box, show you what I have right now, and then when I do the B-roll, I will talk over it and, give my thoughts on them, because I feel like it'd be easier with Nendoroids just to kind of talk over it because they have multiple parts and you know, I'd like to talk about sort of the different like aspects of it, you know, the good and the bad, because yeah. But right now I am quite impressed with this Maki Nendoroid, so yes, moving on to my b-roll and I guess my more like overall thoughts. There's the good and the bad. So here we have the Maki Zenin Nendoroid, and I have to say for my first JJK Nendoroid, I really do like her. My favorite part of her is actually the hair. Green is one of my favorite colors, and I really like the color that they picked and just the shading in it as well. So Maki comes with 3 faceplates. She has her standard expression, a combat expression, and a more sullen expression. And she also comes with her weapons such as her pole arm, kunai, and her weapon Playful Cloud, which are the nunchucks, I guess they are. And she also comes with a crushed soda can, which I don't remember the scene that's from in Jujutsu Kaisen. But yeah. Also, this is my first Nendoroid with glasses, so it was interesting to see how they implemented it into this Nendoroid. I thought you had to like, it was separate from the bangs, but it's not. But yeah, overall, I am quite impressed with this Maki Nendoroid, and now I'm quite excited for the sort of future Jujutsu Kaisen Nendoroids because, yeah, I don't know, I feel like they're stepping it up a little bit, and who knows, maybe I will eventually get those older releases to go with this and actually have a Jujutsu Kaisen, maybe complete Nendoroid set. So now moving on to the next Nendoroid I have is one from a game that I feel like is underrated, and I feel like I've talked about it before with the Pop-Up Parade. And that is, of course, I got the Princess Sakuna Nendoroid from the game Sakuna Rise and Ruin. My first impressions when I opened the Amimai package and I saw this box was like, wow. Like, sorry about the ring light, but the details on this box, I absolutely love, like, the clouds and just all of that detail. Like, going the extra mile, especially for a big box, is pretty cool. And yeah, so obviously this box impresses me. They've done stuff like this for, like, for instance, the Amaterasu DX version Nendoroid. I love that box so much, and when I do get that Shiranui Nendoroid, hopefully in August, that they do the same treatment, because I did also get the DX version. They do this with smaller boxes, but it's mostly just on the side, like with, the Demon Slayer Nendoroids, which, you know, I appreciate them just mostly taking the time to make the box a little bit, you know, stylish and unique from others. So yeah, very happy that they did that with this box. And now, of course I have the figure, and I basically assembled her with, like, pretty much a good majority of her parts, so she's a little bit kind of maybe hard to put up, but yeah, here she is. Oh my god. I kind of put her with the smiling face, and I also have her, like, her weapons, and even Tama on the side, this little guy. But surprisingly, stuff is staying together, which I'm very happy about, because, like, some of this stuff is, like, looks like it'll fall off easily, but thankfully it hasn't. So obviously when I got her, I'm definitely impressed, to say the least, with this Nendoroid. So she was around, like, 6,800 yen. A little bit expensive, but I don't know, just the amount of detail is like, wow. That's all I have to say. Definitely one of my more, like, assembly heavy Nendoroids, especially with this hat and just everything. But I'm just overall impressed, and I'm happy she turned out the way she did. But of course I'll give more, like, my overall thoughts in the B-roll. So here we have the Sakuna Nendoroid, and I have to say, she might be one of my new favorite Nendoroids in my collection. I just love how complex and detailed this Nendoroid is. She comes with 3 separate faceplates, a sort of default one where she just has her eyes open, she's pretty much staring into your soul. She has this smiling one, which I'll be displaying her with, and she has kind of a faceplate. It's a separate bang piece with the Inari Fox mask that, you know, you basically switch out that one bang piece for the one with the mask attached. And yeah, I just also love all the gold details on that. I feel like it's pretty clean, thankfully. And yeah, I also love her hair sculpt. I love her sort of like butterfly shaped bun in the back, and the two top parts actually move, which I think is pretty nice. And she also comes with her farming tools that she also uses as her weapons. And yeah, so I don't know, I just overall like the look of this Nendoroid. It's very clean for the most part. I guess one point of contention for a lot of people is this is a very assembly heavy Nendoroid. There's a lot of parts, and I feel like some people might not like that. I personally don't mind it. It wasn't too hard getting the full assembly that I have her at right now, thankfully. The other one that I had an issue with maybe just my copy, is the Inari mask has a little bit of like scuffing on the side, or there's like hair, I guess, embedded into it, and like a little bit of a black mark on there, which sucks because it is a white mask. And additionally, I noticed that the molding line for like the nostrils, they didn't quite put the paint in the right area, which kind of sucks. But other than that, like, I'm not going to display with it anyway, so it's fine. But overall, I definitely recommend this Nendoroid. It is overall definitely very, very cute, very detailed, and beautiful Nendoroid overall. So now we are moving on to my scale figures, and so I kind of want to go from maybe my least favorite scale to probably like my most favorite. Not to say that they're all like bad. Obviously, there was some during this haul that I definitely liked a little bit more than others, so yeah, that's just, you know, maybe I'll do it like that, but yeah, you know, save the best for last, essentially. So we'll start off like with the first one that was in my May Ami pre-order, and it is the Cone 1/8 scale, yeah, okay, from Kemono Jihen. And yeah, so this one I was quite excited about when it was first announced, because I'm like, oh, they made the Kabane 1/8, and you know, I really enjoyed Kemono Jihen, so I pre-ordered him. And I did not expect them to make Kon, so I'm like, of course I had to get her. And yeah, so I think she was originally supposed to be released in February, and then she got pushed to May. So yeah, obviously, she's a Kitsune. Yeah, very, you know, I do quite like this box overall, you know. And obviously, I got this because I really love the pose on this one. You know, and I also like it with Kabane. You know, Kabane has a very cool pose as well, and I definitely think they would both look very good together. And yeah, and I am quite aware that I think you can get like an exclusive head with her, which I showed off in my pre-order video, which I didn't know about at the time, but I'm kind of fine without that one, but I think it would be kind of cool to have, so yeah. And yeah, so here she is. Overall, I'm quite happy with this figure. So it says, like with discounts on Ami, she's 12,900 yen, which is roughly 95 USD, which I think is, you know, pretty good. You know, without the discount, she's $15,180 or Japanese yen. And yeah, so I think like a little under 100 is pretty good for this figure. Any more, and you know, I don't think so. But the things I like about this figure is obviously her pose. Also, a quick interjection with scales. Me talking about scales, I'll probably just do it with this audio. So yeah, forgive me if I stutter. But yeah, I don't know. I really like her pose. I do like the way the fire came out, and especially on her tail. That I feel like that transition from the opaque plastic to the clear plastic looks pretty good. I guess the one thing, well, there's like a few things that I'm not too fond of. One of them has to be like the flames on her tail. I feel like they could have probably blended that more up into the tip of her tail, because it's kind of just like they just glued the parts on. That's how it looks to me. The other thing is with mine, there's some like paint issues, and it's mostly on the gloves. So like her hands, she has these black like fingerless gloves, the paint kind of like rubbed, there's like some like paint like rub on her skin. I don't know if it's from like the glove or something, that it just was like they were painting it and they missed and they hit her finger or something, because there's some black marks on her skin. And I guess the other thing that I'm not too happy with, that's a little bit weird, is the sculpting of her mouth. I feel like it's just like a bit too wide on one side. If you angle it at certain angles, I think it looks fine. But I don't know, like one side of her mouth looks a little too wide. Like it looks uneven, essentially, and yeah, it does kind of bother me a little bit. And you know, sculpting mouths can obviously be hard, but I feel like they maybe should have taken a little bit more time with it to make it look right. And yeah. Also, this one does have, like, her head does come off if you do have the additional piece. So, there's that. But, yeah, maybe she could have been a little bit cheaper, especially with some of those flaws and mistakes. I am still overall happy with her, though. But the one thing I realized when I was kind of doing, I did, like, my TikTok for this, and, you know, I tried to record her, and she's very not like an eye level figure. Like, I'm holding her at eye level now, and it looks like, I don't know, you can't really see her face properly just because of the way it's kind of tilted down. So I'd recommend this figure to be obviously a little bit above eye level. So yeah, there's just that. Definitely like an above eye level figure on a shelf. But I don't know, overall I am quite happy. I'm glad she's not, you know, super expensive. If you are a fan of Kemono Jihen, I'd still recommend picking her up. Maybe at a cheaper price than what I got her at, because considering the little defects and just how weird the mouth looks, definitely maybe a cheaper price. But yeah, I'm obviously very happy to have her, and I do have her next to Gabane, and I think again, they look so good right next to each other. So yeah, there's Kon. Very cute overall. Now moving on to the next figure that I actually got off of Mandarake. I was just scrolling through there and I was specifically searching for figures with scythes, because you guys can know me now as the girl who really likes characters with scythes, and when it comes to like a figure with a scythe, it's like I will most likely pick them up. Obviously, depends. Sometimes I have to hold back a little bit, but depending on just the outcome of the figure overall, I'll pick them up. So yes, obviously, you know, scrolling through, obviously trying not to get a very expensive one, and then I remembered about this character from, I think a pretty, like, I feel like it's a classic anime, and of course, that character would be the, Scythe Sturluson from the anime Durarara, I think that's how you pronounce it. And yeah, so this is actually my second Alter figure. And yeah, so she is a 1/8 scale by Alter, and they actually re-released this figure twice. I ended up getting the first release, like, box. The second re-release box is, like, different. I'm not too sure if, like, I'll probably put a picture up of what the second re-release box looked like, but nothing is overall too different with the figure itself, which is good. I would hate that they have a second release and they added something to it. But yeah, obviously, you know, it's Scythe. I don't know, really love her design. Very, very cool character overall. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I want to pick her up. So I got her off of Mandarake. She was 13,000 yen, and the shipping was like around 3,000 yen, so she was like 16,000 yen total to ship, which I wasn't expecting. I don't know why I expected this figure to be more in the aftermarket, but surprisingly, her, Shizuo and Izaya, the Alter figures don't cost a lot, which I'm quite surprised with, because I feel like they're pretty popular characters. But yeah, obviously I want to get Scythe because she's got a scythe, and yeah, so I'm obviously gonna pick her up right now. So yeah, here is the lovely Scythe figure. And I realized she can actually stand on her own without this base. It is like a sort of yellowish base with like Durara, like the Durara like logo, I guess, on it. But yeah, like, I think she's gorgeous for like a 1/8. And yeah, I don't know, just she looks flawless overall. Nothing wrong, thankfully. What is kind of neat is like, not really neat, it's like a sort of feature. Her head can actually turn a little bit. And so she comes with her cell phone that she uses to essentially communicate with because she can't talk because she's a Dullahan. And, you know, obviously the Scythe, of course. Look at that beauty. And she actually comes with an alternate headpiece, which is just her, you know, without the helmet, like with like the smoke coming out. And yeah, but of course I want to put her with her iconic biker helmet, her kitty biker helmet, because that's obviously, I feel like, a very defining trait of this character is just that helmet, and definitely do like the pop of the yellow and the blue, especially contrasting to her black skin-tight suit. And yeah, so I'd say very good pickup overall. I don't know why I didn't expect this to be as like expensive, you know, aftermarket wise. And yeah, so obviously I'm just super impressed with this. Very glad to have another Scythe figure to my collection. And yeah, so obviously very excited to, you know, to have her on my shelf. And yeah, I don't know if I'll pick up Shizuo and Izaya. That'll probably be something in the future, but of course I just, again, Scythe, I want to pick up Celtine, that's why. So now I am moving to my other May 2022 pre-order. This figure was originally supposed to release in, I believe, February 2022, and then got pushed to March, and now got finally released in May, and I'm like, thank God. Because I was kind of anticipating this figure. Although, obviously at the time, I was like worried about the price and the outcome of this figure, but right now I'd say I'm overall happy with it, and it is, of course, there we go, the Sukuna Noroi no O 1/7 scale, yes, by Furyu. So this figure costs 23,980 yen, which is now roughly 178 USD, and at the time I pre-ordered him, he was actually around $203 about. That's when the yen, you know, the yen's not doing too hot right now, so obviously that's when the yen was doing a little bit better. And now I'm kind of grateful for that price change, because my god, I was a little bit apprehensive, obviously because of that price. Is this worth 200 USD? So also I'll show off the box. Yeah. So obviously that's just the thing that worried me, was just the price and how this figure would come out. Because sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Furyu is like maybe just a little too expensive for what they come out with, but that's just me. And yes, obviously I'm excited. This is my first ever Sukuna figure. I don't know why I love him so much. He's just obviously just a competent asshole character, and again, I like asshole characters, so what can I say? Of course, I was like, you know, I just really like the way this figure looked. And yeah, some people, I feel like were like a little apprehensive just because of his face, maybe, but like obviously when I got him, I think his face turned out great. So obviously, I'll pick him up right now. And so here he is. Yes, the King of Curses himself, and he's a very heavy figure, and obviously I think that's like the base is like the heaviest part of this. And yes, overall, I don't know. He's a very, like, I feel like above the eye level figure because of the way he's kind of looking down, and I don't know. So the good things I love about this figure are just like the folds in his outfit and the shading there. He's very clean, which I'm very grateful for. You know, like, especially because the tattoos, the black tattoos on his wrists and his nails look very well done. And obviously the, I guess like the sticker or whatever, the application to his face, like the eyes and the tattoos look very well done. And I do overall like his mouth sculpt. Like, I think this is a very well done mouth sculpt, and just his face overall looks great. And definitely, I really love the skull, the cow slash bull skull base. I love just like all the black and just the details on that, how shiny the horns are too. I would recommend being careful though when assembling him, just because these horns are very sharp. Like, you could draw blood with this essentially. But yeah, and I don't know, I love his smug expression. Oh god, smug assholes, I just love them. And yeah, I guess obviously another struggle with putting him on the base is like he has a peg on his back, and I feel like I really had to like force him down to line the peg up with the whole of the base. And it was just a struggle. A lot of energy was spent trying to get him into the base. But other than that, you know, that's like the only point of assembly. And the peg doesn't quite go in all the way, but you're not gonna pose him with his back turned to you, so you don't see that. And I guess the other main thing, like, I feel like the shading is good in most areas. You know, even his skin, I feel like has a little bit of like shading, a little bit of like blush and life to it. But just, I feel like the hair was the one thing to me that could have used a little bit more shading. It just feels like not enough to me. Like maybe some darker shades of pink would definitely have worked. And then I was like, this would have been a fantastic Sukuna figure. It's still great. I just again think that extra little bit of shading on his hair could have made this an overall fantastic Sukuna figure. But yeah, other than that, I just love this pose. I love how condescending he looks, how full of confidence he has, essentially, how he looks down on us mere mortals. And yeah, so obviously I'm very excited to have I don't know who I'd consider my JJK husbando. He may be one of them. I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion, because there's too many handsome boys in JJK, but yeah, Sukuna, I don't know. And of course I am aware of the E-Stream Sukuna that has been recently colored, and now I am very much considered pre-ordering that one, and oh boy, maybe I'll make myself a Sukuna shrine, so I definitely recommend this. Hopefully maybe a little less than 178. I'm not the best when it comes to saying, oh, what a figure price maybe should have been, so I feel like though a little less than 178 would be definitely the way to go with this one. But yeah, overall just happy to have my first Sukuna figure in my collection. So now moving on to the last figure that I have picked up for the month of May, and it was one that I actually bought off of Buy. I've been using Buy recently just to get like a couple of figures, and it can be quite dangerous, especially because if it's on there, it's like you want to buy it, but you know, the price. And yeah, so, and this was like a figure I was thinking, should I get it now, should I get it later, and then I saw it off Buy, and I'm like, buy. So yeah, I ended up picking this figure up, and yeah, it's one of the ones on my wish list, but I feel like, you know, could I wait for it? But then yeah, I bought it, so I'll show you guys the box. And it is, of course, the lovely Fairy Tale Another Cheshire Cat. Probably one of my favorite figures from this line, because I just love this character's design. So yeah, the glare from, or the lighting reflecting off this box does not help from my light, but I'll try my best to show you guys the gorgeous cat details, like, and just the shininess of it all. Like, I don't know, I really love it. And in the front, very gorgeous box. And also it also came with this lovely postcard right here, that is by Ask, I believe. Ask, I don't know how you pronounce the name, but yeah, very gorgeous original character design. And yeah, so obviously I don't know, I just love this whole design, and I just love the way this figure turned out, so I'll pick her up right now. So yes, here she is. Oh my god. Definitely a very gorgeous figure, and yeah, it's not hard to see why. So going into this figure, I ended up getting her off of Yahoo Japan auctions for 238 USD, which is quite expensive, and she's actually on the Good Smile website. She originally came out in 2021, and she originally cost 19,800 yen. So yeah, quite a bit less than the 29,980 yen that she cost off of Yahoo Japan auctions. So yeah, and especially because, you know, back then that price is obviously fantastic for especially what you're getting with this figure. So going into this figure, there is, I feel like, not a single flaw on her that I have seen. Just looks absolutely gorgeous. I just love the base. The base definitely was a highlight for me compared to, I mean, like some of the other Fairy Tail and other characters have fantastic bases, but I don't know, just this one just like stood out to me the most, with the golden keys and these different kinds of flowers on here. Some of these, the pinkish purplish leaves have like this pearlescent finish to them, and that also goes the same for these vines. And I really do like the sculpting on the roses and how the red one has these little cute little glittery bits at the tips of it. And then obviously there's the main event, the Cheshire Cat herself. Very gorgeous design by Ask. And yeah, I don't know, I love the ribbons, I love the way her eyes look, and just her pose overall is fantastic. And I really like also how seamless the translucent pieces are. Like, it looks like she's either disappearing or reappearing, and I don't know. And just the pose is just fantastic, and she just looks so, like, I don't know, gorgeous overall. So yeah. Yeah, just looking at her from like all the angles, oh, she's just, yeah, absolutely amazing, and I would definitely recommend her at a good price, of course. I guess the one issue I kind of ran across is the flowers come separately, and the pink one was fine to put on. The red one, on the other hand, oh, it looks like it's gonna come off. It doesn't quite go in all the way, which I don't know if it's just me or it's just this copy, but I don't know, it just won't go in all the way, and if I shake this way too much, it will kind of fall out, so I do have to be careful. And putting it in, it's not easy. I literally had to push my hand against the petals, and it's sharp, and it kind of dug into my hand, so that's obviously quite dangerous. I would have preferred what they did with the pink, which had kind of this, like, sort of, I think it had like more of like a thin sort of peg to put in. I would probably like that a little bit more for that rose. So yeah, I think I have to adjust it again, so my hand is gonna be in a bit of pain. But other than that, like, she's just overall very gorgeous. Definitely worth picking up, especially if you do love to collect the My Ethos Fairy Tail series, or if you just like the Cheshire Cat in general. Like, obviously, she's just so gorgeous, and yeah, very well done by My Ethos yet again, and I'm very excited for any of their, you know, future releases for this series. So that concludes this video. So that was pretty much my May 2022 haul. A lot of very nice figures, I would say, overall. There's not really any figures I'm sort of upset about, thankfully. You know, most of them turned out very, you know, good for the most part. Some definitely more than others, but yeah. Kind of nice to also just do a sort of haul video, you know, kind of hopefully short and sweet. I still have to do the B-roll, so there's that. And yeah, so oh my god, just keep that. So yeah, I don't know what my next video is. I'm hoping to get my LA sort of adventure video done, and then yeah, I might do a few like casual unboxings here and there, because I already do have a June pre-order coming in, so I might do a complete separate video for that one. And yeah, so let me know what's your favorite character or figure from this haul. Yeah, so let me know what was your favorite figure from this haul, what were your May pre-orders, and yeah. So, hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are, and take it easy. Goodbye.